In today's video, we're going to dive into one of the most devastating events in American history, the Great San Francisco Earthquake of April 18, 1906. This catastrophic earthquake not only changed the landscape of San Francisco, but also reshaped the course of history in California. So let's take a closer look at the earthquake's causes, its impact on the city, and how the aftermath led to significant changes in both the region and the nation as a whole. On the morning of April 18, 1906, at precisely 5:12 a.m., the earth beneath San Francisco's feet began to tremble. The initial shock was so violent that it sent waves of fear through the city. Imagine waking up to a ground that's shaking uncontrollably beneath you. The tremors lasted less than a minute, but they were intense enough to cause widespread destruction. The earthquake itself was caused by the movement of tectonic plates along the San Andreas Fault, which runs roughly 800 miles through California. The fault line, which had been building up tension for centuries, finally released that pressure in a massive 7.8 magnitude earthquake. That energy was enough to tear apart buildings, crack roads, and split open the ground in an instant. But the earthquake wasn't just about the initial shock. The aftermath was just as catastrophic. Fires broke out across the city, and the lack of water and firefighting resources made them nearly impossible to control. What started as a terrifying quake turned into a citywide inferno. As buildings collapsed and fires spread, the destruction of San Francisco unfolded at a terrifying pace. The city's water mains were destroyed in the earthquake, leaving firefighters with no way to put out the flames. As a result, fires raged across the city for days, and much of the downtown area was reduced to ash. The iconic wooden buildings and tightly packed structures of the time were especially vulnerable to the flames, making the firestorm even more catastrophic. In the end, more than 28,000 buildings were destroyed, leaving over 250,000 people homeless out of a population of around 400,000. The city's famous skyline, including the ornate Victorian homes and business districts, was gone in a matter of hours. Entire neighborhoods disappeared, and the financial and cultural heart of California was left in ruins. The human toll was equally devastating. While estimates vary, it's believed that between 3,000 and 6,000 people died as a direct result of the earthquake and the fires. Thousands more were injured, and the city was thrown into chaos. The streets were filled with survivors searching for loved ones, trying to salvage what they could, and attempting to rebuild their shattered lives. The response to the 1906 earthquake came quickly, but was overwhelmed by the scale of the disaster. Federal, state, and local officials mobilized relief efforts, but the destruction was so widespread that it took weeks, even months, to provide adequate assistance. Military personnel were deployed to help with rescue operations, and emergency shelters were set up throughout the Bay Area. The aftermath of the earthquake also marked a turning point for disaster response in the United States. It highlighted the need for better urban planning, improved construction standards, and the importance of having coordinated emergency services. While there were no national building codes at the time, the 1906 quake served as a catalyst for changes in building regulations, particularly in areas prone to seismic activity. The quake also had far-reaching consequences beyond just California. It was a key moment in the history of seismology and earthquake science. Scientists began to understand the science of earthquakes in new ways, and researchers studied the damage extensively to understand how seismic forces interact with buildings and the Earth's crust. Despite the devastation, San Francisco began to rebuild almost immediately. The city's resilience and determination to recover became a symbol of strength. Within a few years, the city's famous skyline began to rise again, and the people of San Francisco set about recreating the vibrant cultural and economic center that had once been the jewel of the West Coast. The rebuilding effort was supported by both private and public funds, and new technologies and construction methods were incorporated to ensure that the city would be better prepared for future earthquakes. In fact, the 1906 earthquake prompted the creation of the first modern building codes in California, which laid the groundwork for the city's transformation into a more earthquake-resilient metropolis. While the recovery was long and difficult, by the time of the 1915 Panama Pacific International Exposition, San Francisco had reinvented itself. The fair showcased the city's recovery and resilience, and visitors marveled at how quickly San Francisco had returned to its former glory. Today, the legacy of the 1906 earthquake is still very much alive in San Francisco. The city is home to one of the most sophisticated earthquake monitoring systems in the world, and modern building codes ensure that new structures are built to withstand seismic activity. The event also left an indelible mark on the collective memory of the city, with numerous memorials and historical sites commemorating those who lost their lives and the city that rose from the ashes. The earthquake of 1906 serves as a constant reminder of nature's power, but it also stands as a testament to human resilience. San Francisco's recovery was long and painful, but the city emerged stronger, more prepared, and more aware of the risks that come with living on a tectonic fault line. As we look at the modern city of San Francisco today, we see a blend of old and new, historic buildings standing side by side with cutting-edge technology and architecture. The lessons learned from 1906 continue to shape the way we prepare for and respond to natural disasters, not just in San Francisco, but around the world. So, that's a brief look at the Great San Francisco Earthquake of 1906, a day that forever changed the city and left a lasting mark on history. If you found this video interesting, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories from history. Drop a comment below if you want to learn more about this event, or if you have any questions about the impact of earthquakes on modern cities. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.